people deluded I'm back again.
Come on, Ian. Man. Come on. Ian Wright said it there. We got Miles in the building. The Premier League kicks off tomorrow, my friend. It's only right I get you back on the channel. What you saying?
What's going on, bro? Can you hear me? Is everything? Is it?
Yeah. You're good on my end. Let me check. Am I good?
Yeah, you
okay.
can hear
We got the chat.
And also, my camera it glitches a bit, but I turn down the resolution. I'm 720. I'm not 1080p, so it's all good.
Bro, you're here. That's the main thing, man. You're here. We're gonna have a good chat in this hour or so. Like, what you saying, man? Like, it's
last time I saw you was great.
Yeah, exactly.
Bro, I was walking down the road. Bro, that day was a madness, you know.
Madness.
It was a madness. Me and my boy Shorty Bless, we got there late for one. We got to like that part of London, North London, like 2:30, bro. And we went
People
to
think that's a North close. It's not at that.
No, it's not. It's not. We're Northwest is the north of West London. So that's what people don't understand. We're not north, but it's all love anyway. It's only down the road, but we're not close. But yeah, we got to Finchley. And then, bro, it was mad. Man saw the bus, it zoomed past at 60 miles an hour. I was like, oh my God, we've missed it. Then after the time I saw you, remember I was like, yo, DJ, I'm trying to find the bus, remember? Because when I saw you like on some hill bit.
Yeah, you was late, man. By then I've seen the bus bare times, bro.
Bro, you was on a different wave. You was wavy.
I was there from early.
Yeah,
bro.
you were
like, I was even ready for this.
Yeah, so but it was good to see you, though. It was good to bump into you.
Likewise.
The pictures and that. Yeah, man. Obviously, me and you have been like a representation of the club throughout the whole year, so people just showing us love, and it was good to bump into you, man. And obviously, man's a big fan of you as well.
Likewise, my boy. That's why you're here, man. That's why it made sense to have you back here. As I always get you on, I'm always bugging this guy, like when you want to jump on the channel. But
and I'm gonna get my channel as well. Therefore, now
100%, man.
Obviously, it's that we're content creators, and we're in that period of we had World Cup, but there's pre-season transfers.
And now it's gearing up again.
Yeah, now we can properly get you on the show and we can stuff's happening. We can talk about results and fixtures.
Well, you got my number, Killy, man. When you're ready.
I was definitely gonna get you on. Even my boy Geordie was like, yo, DG. I was like, yeah, come on, man.
Big up Geordie for that one. Appreciate it, man. And I don't imagine you lot know, but make sure you're following Miles on his Twitch, on all the things he does on YouTube from my left and all of that kind of stuff, people. You know, him and the lads do great stuff, man. You touched on it though, yeah. And I wanted to ask you this year, like, because for me, it's a weird one, because I feel this time last year, it's not that I felt I actually went into it. That was the first year I was like, nah, we can actually win this league. It was more like enough's enough now. Like, it's time to get over the line. And we've dragged ourselves through it, innit? This year, I still feel we can win the league. We'll get into it, but I don't know about the other teams. But I feel it's a different feeling. It's like we got a target on our back. I feel the biggest enemies are ourselves. And I just feel it's different going into next season. So, like, for you going into this season defending champions, and you ain't said that in how long? Like, where's your mindset at?
Well, you know what? My mindset is very calm, you know, and also, you know how I know it's calm? Because even during this transfer period, obviously Arsenal fans, and rightfully so, we're like, who we getting? What's this? What's that? Obviously, you're going to get that set of fans. But for me personally, I've just been calm because I know that we are the champions, and I know that the level between us and the other teams is the gap. There's a significant gap in it. Obviously, it can be closed, but from what the business I've seen, what the other teams done, and especially a particular player like Rodri leaving, I've just been calm, man. So obviously, us being the champions and gives us a level of confidence as well. Like, I'm going into this knowing that we've done it already. So it's not the pressure of, who are we going to get to try and get it over the line? We've done it already. It's cool. We could just chill. We could relax. Obviously, we're going to feel a bit anxious of, can we do it again? But for the best part, bro, I've just been chilled throughout this whole transfer period. The whole summer, I've just been chilled because I just know how strong we are. And obviously, we've added to that. We're going to touch on that. But yeah, I've been calm, to be fair, you know, bro. Honestly, like, I've just been level-headed. I'm not thinking about, are we going to do it again? Are we going to flop? People are going to call us bottlers. They can't. We've done it. We're the champions. We're going in with confidence. We've seen how the team's playing with confidence compared to how we played during the pre-season. And I was watching your streams. It was good streams, by the way, because sometimes, bro, the way how you're making content out of some of these games of our pre-season.
Appreciate you.
I know someone who does stream. It ain't easy, bro. Because some of those games,
not easy at all.
Bro, some of those pre-season games, especially like Como was good to watch, obviously, because Fabregas came out, but BVB, i.e. Borussia Dortmund, I was looking like, damn. I weren't taking much from it because for me, when it comes to pre-season, the main thing for me is that obviously the players to get through new tactics, i.e. via the manager,
fitness and all of that.
Fitness, and number 3, please don't get injured. Just please,
big one actually.
Please don't get injured. Like, I don't care. Like, just don't get injured, innit? So yeah, now that we went into the Charity Shield game, it's like a switch, bro. It's like we wasn't playing with that much intensity. Obviously, half the players wasn't playing because it wasn't a strong squad. Obviously, a few players came back, but it's like, wow, okay, cool. This is my Arsenal. My Arsenal's back. Obviously, previously we was watching what we was watching, but it weren't that high intensity. I was like, yeah,
Save the best till last, literally, man.
yeah,
Because like you said with the Community Shield, it's like you said, actually there, it's like a switch went off. We're moving the ball well. We're good off the ball. We were ruthless in what we could be against City. Now, as you said, it is pre-season. You can't draw any conclusions, but that is a good marker in my opinion. Like the players look good. There's optimism within the fan base. You kind of said it as well. Like there's going to be twists and turns, and of course we're human. We're going to be nervous or happy depending on the result. But sometimes everything connected to our football club, it can be anxious in it, like, are we going to get over the line? So there's that healthiness to know, like, we're not imposters anymore. We've actually got over the line. How do you feel about the rivals, though, man? Because it is early doors. I do think we've hit that sweet spot in that we don't need much. I don't think we've brought in everything, but we don't need much. We've kind of got our squad. There's a massive rebuild elsewhere. Like, how do you feel about the other rivals and what they've done and who's probably going to be our biggest challenger, etc.? Because some people have Chelsea down to, fight for the title. People going with City. People got Liverpool. I mean, you're like myself. You're surrounded by Man United fans. Their optimism is at an all-time high, and they're saying it's an open race.
Listen, I just want to say to the rival fans, you're welcome. Honestly, you're welcome. Now, and then the reason why I said that,
out the league.
Yeah, you're welcome. With that, and also we've given them hope and optimism that they can actually win the league. And it's not even coming from a place of like cockiness. It's the reality. Other teams now, Chelsea, Manchester United, not Liverpool because they've won the league. Chelsea, Manchester United, especially those two big teams, they've seen Arsenal finally get over the line. Obviously, they've been laughing at us for years, and cool, rightfully so. It's the rival things, what they're going to do in it. But they've seen us do it now. So now they're saying, okay, cool. Now it's our time to do it because we can't keep laughing at them. Liverpool's done it. City was dominating. Arsenal's done it. Now they want to be a part of that. And the team that I'm looking at, other than Man City, because I still think Man City's going to be there. Because when you have man like Haaland, anything's still possible. I don't think they're going to win it, but they will be there. Liverpool, they've still got Isak, they've got Wirtz, not been great, but they've got Szoboszlai, they've still got VVD, Alisson, they've got a spine, so they'll be there. But the team that I'm looking at from an outsider's point of view, it would have to be now. Oh man, it's a toss.
Please don't say Spurs.
No. It's Chelsea. But Man United is right. But anything, I'd say Chelsea because they play one game a week. That's what's saving them.
And allegedly they were in a title challenge last year until
December. That was
drawing against us.
Yeah, but it's Chelsea because they play one game a week and they've got a good coach. From what we've seen, I don't think he's an elite coach, but he's a good coach. You could get a team playing. We've seen it at Bayer Leverkusen. Obviously, he had a short spell at Real Madrid, but there's politics within that club anyway. But he's bought well. I think they've bought well as in regarding maturity. I don't think.
I feel Wells is a good signing. Yeah. Henderson's more for the dressing room and all that kind of stuff.
Lacroix, I rated Lacroix. I was saying on my show that Liverpool should have got someone like Lacroix. Obviously,
Liverpool should have got him and Konsa, which we'll get onto.
Yeah,
to be fair.
But, they've brought a level of maturity into their squad. I don't think they've got enough to actually win it, but I don't think Chelsea are like super far off. I think they're probably at least 2 more transfer windows away to probably like giving it a proper goal, like the end, like coming to like May, April, May times where they can still be in and around it. But who knows? But other than that, bro, if I'm being completely honest, I spoke about it just a couple minutes ago. It was Rodri. That was the main thing for me. Elliot Anderson and Rodri can combat against Rice and Bruno Guimaraes because Rodri's there. But now Rodri's gone, I don't see it happening.
They don't come around every week, man.
Nah, they don't. I don't see it happening. Elliot Anderson, as good as he is, bro, can you be the one to take the club that has been dominating for 5, 6, 7 years and be that single lone pivot and drive them to a title challenge? Not even win, just a challenge. You're a young man that's come from Nottingham Forest. They spent over 100 million on you, which obviously is going to be spoken about because it's the price tag. It comes with pressure. Declan Rice, Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez, all the £100 million players come with pressure, and rightfully so. And I just don't think he's got enough. Obviously, I feel like they're going to go get other players in and around him, but that was the main threat for me. And now that Rodri's gone, I just look at them like, nah. So to answer your question, I don't really see that much rivals really troubling us other than Liverpool now, but the outsider, it would have to be Chelsea. they'd
I
have to
think
be
our
just,
biggest enemy is ourselves, and that's not to say
of course.
Arsenal are the biggest and baddest. I just feel that's shot us in the foot in previous years where we haven't won the league title. I think every Arsenal fan will get what I mean by that. Some non-Arsenal fans will probably see that as arrogance. I just feel if we learn how to break down low blocks, evolve the tactics, keep people fit, you know, our attackers, I feel they had moments. They never had that level of consistency. If they get that on top of the business we've been doing, then I think we're in good stead. Obviously, I'd love a left winger beyond Zolis. I like what he brings. Honestly, when I look at the rivals, you just don't know because there's obviously going to be a name or a team that, you know, goes on a mad run that we don't necessarily know. I actually like the business Man United's done because in previous years, they've bought sexy players. It's come to nothing. I don't think any of them are game changers, but their midfield has been revamped. They've brought in 1-2 players. They probably need a left back. And it's more of a case of what can Carrick do in his full season? He's got the midfield ingredients. What can he kind of cook? They've got different kind of profiles. But I do think the optimism at times could be misplaced because he was like the Messiah last year. It's different for Carrick, managing in the Champions League, etc. I think Areola's a good signing for Liverpool, but I think the most games he's ever managed is 48 games. And as you know yourself, tactically, he's got that. But when you're a Liverpool manager, there's all different kind of things. And I agree with what you said. You know, their attack, if they were all on song, like in an ideal world, like how they look on FIFA, they probably got the best, or quote unquote, the best attack in the league. Unfortunately, though, with them, I know they've made some defensive additions. I still don't really rate the center midfield pairings. Yeah, I'm not really rating it. City, by default, they're still there. I think Enzo's a good coach. I think the fact that he wanted it for time would be there. I think with him, it's more the pressure because you've come under Pep Guardiola. You've been at Chelsea. There's still company links. As you alluded to there, like you can't replace Rodri. You can only adapt. I don't know how Elliot Anderson and all of these guys, how it makes. Chelsea, I think they throw too much money and at some point it's going to happen. I just feel in the same way we never got here overnight. You're not going to get there overnight. Like there's a lot of good habits they need to learn. There's a lot of bad habits, but I make you right in that they do have good players. They are playing one game a week. The only team I'm actually going to rule out is Spurs. I know Spurs fans are giddy. They're making signings. They'll probably push for Europe, but you're just not involved. If you put a gun to my head, I'd say City second, but I don't know.
Yeah. But the thing is though, Deludi, you know what's mad there? That Arsenal's progression has been on display for everyone to see and everyone to laugh.
And they've shut it down time after time.
That's what it is, because when 23-22, when Arsenal was nowhere near it, we came fifth and then we came second. And people, listen, people are going to laugh and banter us, but at the same time, this is a team that was not meant to be there.
Like that year, we jumped up several levels.
Yeah, like as regarding squad depth, new coach, new players, new philosophy, we was not meant to be there. And throughout the years, we've been building. No, obviously that quote, trust the process, and everybody says,
but it's facts though.
It's facts because now we're reaping the rewards when it comes to squad depth. Everybody's talking about Arsenal being the strongest because of the squad depth, and the reason how we've got here is because we've been building throughout the years. So now that we've been building throughout the years, we've been coming second, which is an achievement. Not an achievement because you don't win.
People that understand ball know what you're saying. People that do the banter thing, they go, "Oh, he said it's an achievement to finish second." Like,
it's an achievement where we're achieving.
It marks progression.
Yeah, it marks. Yeah, that's the word I'm using. It's not more of an achievement, but we've been showing progression throughout the years, as well as a young team and a young coach. And now we've come first. We're first with a good squad. It's not like we're just first, like, okay, we winged it or something happened, or respect to Mo Salah, but his numbers. We never had, Saka didn't have like a Salah moment. One player won us the league, and now we're still depleted. There's no squad. We've got the squad. The squad won us this league. And that's what I think everyone else is lacking. Yeah, everyone else is lacking that. Where they're still trying to build it, but we're just like at least 2-3 years ahead of them. And that's where it is. And that's the place where we're at. While everyone was laughing, cool, we understood why you lot are laughing, but we could see as Arsenal fans what we're building. And like you said, the ones that there's going to be other rival fans that didn't laugh and they could see, okay, I can see what they're doing here. We can laugh at them because they're not getting over the line this year, but it's inevitable that we was going to get it over the line. Because you can't have players like Saliba, Gabriel, Declan Rice, Saka, Raya, Timber, all in your squad and not win a Premier League. It just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. You just don't knock on a door for so long and don't get one. So, yeah, man, I'm actually glad. I'm actually happy that we've actually built a squad like this, man, because obviously there's still room where we can improve, i.e. our attack. I just don't think our attack's that great. But our defensive midfield is more than good enough to actually carry us over the line. But the attack, I'd love us to see just do a bit more in the attack, man. honestly.
And I'll make you right, because you know, when I get, like, obviously, like you said, the project's been there under Mikel Arteta. Even the players that like a Kai Havertz, or even in recent years, Gyökeres, players that don't universally sell us, they've all helped drag us over the line, type of thing. And obviously, we won the league 22 years. Josh Kroenke was talking Bossy. Berta last summer did a madness. We thought, you know, like you said there, we don't really need to go and buy the whole of Sainsbury's. We only need like a bit of milk and a bread sort of thing, like a couple of sides. So I like what Konsa does, because he gives us more defensive depth. I actually feel, I might be exaggerating, but it feels like what Sir Alex Ferguson used to do, where you cherry pick the best of the rest. I think him and Bruno G have that, and they already add to strong areas. I like what Zolis could be, but I don't think he's a level raiser at the point of entry, just because he's not got that clout in football, and I don't want to place that on him. So that's my big miss. So that leads me to ask you, yeah, like, how do you feel about our Champions League place? Because I'm conflicted, because on one hand, year in year progression, clearly we got to a final, even whatever people say. But I still think you need that stardust. I know we didn't get Vinicius Jr., but I think you need those kind of players in the Champions League. Like, I could go as far as to say I expect to win the Premier League. Champions League, I expect to get to the quarters and semis, and it depending on what we can do, type of thing. But like, where does it leave you with it?
Yeah, semi-finals I expect us to get to. Like, that is the standard now. Quarterfinals is a minimum. Like, quarterfinals is the bare minimum. Regardless of who you get in the semi-finals, it should be a final. So we should be going later into the later rounds of that competition. I agree with what you're saying with regarding Stardust, but it's just all about the route. If we're not going to get another easy route like last year, we're not going to get Bodo Glimt. We're not going to get Sport. We're not, bro. Like, we're not going to get that easy route again. That was a one-off. It panned out well for us.
That's why I thought it was our time, bro, because Barca's gone out. Not saying we couldn't beat Barca, but you get those gifts as a direct consequence of you handling business, type of thing. And I can't guarantee, I ain't got a crystal ball in it.
Yeah, and Arsenal fans, we know that we got to give. Obviously, I could say that we rightfully so deserve to be there, because we came top of the group. So we was on the right side of the bracket. We got lucky. It could have been Bayern.
We have shown progression in that, to be fair.
Yeah, of course. But regarding us needing a star, I do agree, though. I do agree. And not even just for Arsenal fans, I feel just for the players as well. Just to look around in the dressing room, we'll see that player like, okay, we're 1-0 down, or it's 1-1. He can help us. I feel that we got that going that way at the back. Like, okay, cool, that defender or that midfielder is going to not make us concede. Yeah. But going forward, the other side, we've still got players like Havertz, who's a bit clutch. We've got Bukayo Saka, who I'd never doubt. And Solis, we just don't know. And Solis is a gamble. We just, if he gets us 10 assists and 7 goals or 6 goals a season, we'll be ecstatic.
He looks good, but the jury's still out purely because you just got here in this kind of realm.
Yeah. But we still need a marquee attacker, man. We do. And I just feel like when you come to the Champions League, you just need that. You're going to have it, because Bayern, they've got Kane, they've got Elise. PSG, they've got all the wingers in the world. We know about Real Madrid. Man City, obviously, knockout competitions, anything's going to happen. They still got Haaland. You know what I'm saying? Even Liverpool.
Barcelona got Yamal and all of those.
Isak. You know what I'm saying? So even though we got Gyökeres, but we just know there's a lot of flaws in his game, especially when it comes to the Champions League. And I feel like in certain games, we don't play to his strengths, just the way how we play anyway as a team. We're more of like a possession-based team. He's more of a, in certain games, counter-attacking type of striker.
That's how I feel about a lot of our attackers, broski. I think they're all horses for courses type of thing. Like Odegaard and Eze, you got your pros and cons. Kai and Gyökeres, you got your pros and cons. Martinelli and Madueke, granted, I don't really rate you look like that, but your tools in a toolbox. Saka, it's more of a fitness. And it's like what you're saying, like we've got that security in defense. We do have that in midfield. Goals win games in it, and that's where I'm looking at. And I know it's difficult. I know, you can't necessarily go and buy household names and whatnot, but I think it's become evidently clear we've needed to address that wing for time, bro.
Would you get rid of Gyökeres now if they could? If they said, okay, we could get rid of Gyökeres and bring in someone like a Osimhen, and we'll just go over and get him, would you swap him out?
Yeah, but what is Osimhen going to give me, though? Like, don't get twisted. I think Osimhen's better than Gyökeres, 100%. Like, I do think he is better than him and Kai. But how much is the jump? And for me, I don't really feel it makes sense to be targeting striker. I want a striker. Like, if you can find an upgrade on Gyökeres and Kai and they naturally become squad players and you got that, we got our own Haaland, we're laughing, innit? But I just see it as, and Julian Alvarez, the caveat, because he can play out wide. Like, why add to an area already strong? Like, address the left-hand side, because for me to really think believe we're gonna get Osimhen, bro, I have to see specifically Kai Havertz or Gyökeres move. Like Marino's here, respectfully, is a non-factor. I purposely left Gabriel Jesus out because his days are probably numbered. I'm having Osimhen, But I just think it's a shiny new toy. Like, imagine we sign Osimhen, but you've got Kai and Gyökeres. That probably means Kai, you're going to see him in midfield. I don't think we've helped ourselves.
Swap though. Swap. Would you say, okay, there's talks about him going Barcelona. I don't think it's going to happen. Goes Barcelona, and then we get Osimhen. Would you do that deal?
If Gyökeres tells me he wants to cut, I'll let him go, man. But I'm just wary of the fact of whatever I think about Gyökeres. And like you said, playing to his style, sometimes he could do more. At the end of the day, he got 21 goals in all comps, specifically 14 in the league. I don't want that to go out of my side. I do think Osimhen would adapt because he's played in a number of countries, but I think it's a gamble, bro. I genuinely think it's a gamble. I think Kai is better for our system, but I'm more likely to sell Kai purely because I would have Gyökeres, who's just because Kai's a proven goal scorer. Gyökeres, I see what you should be. You should be the rotationary kind of striker. And I would still have Mikel Merino. I like Kai, but I would still have Merino who can kind of do what Kai does.
See, a couple months ago, I was on the same page
I was shot both of them for. Osimhen and I don't know.
See, a couple months ago, I was on the same page as you. I was saying get rid of Kai Havertz and keep Gyökeres. But what I saw from Kai Havertz at the end of the season and what I've seen now, fit Kai Havertz.
We need him. That's why I don't want to sanction his sale either.
Yeah, it's dangerous. He brings in other players other than himself. Like other than himself scoring
You wish
goals.
you could combine both of them, but this is the trap we find ourselves in as Arsenal fans. Like, there's always players we wish we could combine, and then
and Martinelli. If that was one player,
exactly, like
the best winger in the world.
Yeah, exactly. We've got too much of them, bro. We got way too much of them, and maybe even slightly Marino's our best striker. It's very different when it's 30, 38 games, but.
Yeah, that's our
These are the questions I think needs answering, bro. And I understand how difficult the market is. Like, all right, you tried to get Morgan Rogers. I think we lacked, but we didn't want to match 117. I can hold that. I can be angry at you lot, but I can hold that. All right, cool. Vinicius Jr., I like the ambition shown by the club. I think a lot of fans, if you're upset about that, it's your own fault, because if you saw what Ornstein said in the headline and actually what he said, you wouldn't have got too excited. He said it's all like reliant on him signing a new deal. Now, you know yourself how the Real Madrid stuff goes. People don't want to leave. That's cool. But Cola, 1 minute we're on it, then we're not. I'm not on it for the prices I'm kind of seeing. So then I look to the left and right, bro, and I'm like, what do you really do? And then I look at, obviously, we're not going to be Real Madrid or at this moment PSG, but I believe in learning from people who did it, innit? I think we're doing this Alex Ferguson thing in. We're getting, when Fergie used to get the best of the rest in the Prem, we done that with Bruno, we done that with Konsa. Where I look at Real Madrid, for example, they missed out on Neymar. They said, all right, anything out of Brazil or South America, full stop, we're never lacking again. They went and got Vinicius before he became a star. So is that the kind of route? Unless you could find like a Mo Salah when he's in Italy and he goes to Liverpool, or you can find Vinny when he's in Brazil. I don't know where we go. Like, I think it's unacceptable to not bring in another left winger in addition to Zolis, innit? But I also am coming down to the thought, and am of the thought of, I don't want to spend peas for no reason's sake. Like, I don't really want to be like this, but it might have to just park it off for a year at the earliest January, see what we can kind of do. Because, I mean, I like Ndiaye of Everton, innit? 70 million, nah, I'm not really on it. 130, 140 for Bukola, nah, I'm not really on it. Nico Williams, 77 million plus probably 300 grand. And then, as you know yourself, then, if you're not talking about them, then we start getting into those Rashford, those Grealishes, those Rafa Leao conversations. I don't know about you, Maz, but I'm not on that because I think we've got too many of them kind of guys.
Yeah, just keep Martinelli. If we're going to go do all that.
This is what I'm saying.
There was a point where I was like, okay, I don't mind taking Rashford. If it was for a cheap fee, probably the most I'll probably give them is like 30 million. And that was at the beginning of the window if we wasn't getting like the Bukolas, the Vinnies. I didn't personally think we was ever going to get Vinny, but cool, it was there. Arsenal was willing to do it.
You have hope, naturally, but you can't get too excited.
But now it's getting to the end of the window. I don't want us to rush and go and get Rashford now. It's pointless. Like, you might as well just keep Martinelli.
There's no point. We'll be saying the same conversations about Rashford. Like, him not Martinelli is the same kind of talking points, bro. Like, are they going to do it for... I know it's easier said than done, but I want a man that can do it for 25, 30 games. Like, with Rashford and Martinelli and Madueke, we talk about consistency and decision-making, and they're actually good players and have good plus points. I think they're good if they're tools in a toolbox. Like Martinelli, for example, when you just accept him for what he is, if there was like, for example, let's just say Aston Villa away is cagey, we're winning 1-0, they're having chances, they're on top of us. You might draw for a Martinelli just to keep their fullback honest or to help us defensively. That's what I mean about the toolbox. And obviously there's cup games and stuff. I don't look at Martinelli no more and think, oh, 2022, 23, when's the penny going to drop? It might drop. It might happen one day at Arsenal. It might not. You might have to leave all of that. There's only, and this is what I mean about our attack, because I think that's where the uncertainties are. Some people would say Gyökeres is good. No, he's not. We play to his strengths. No, we don't. Kai Havertz the same. Eze actually the same. Odegaard, I think it's more fitness, but he has his question marks. I'm with you in that. I believe in Saka, because I think in the last few years, you're the only guy that's done it. But in the last 2 years, you've been injured. And these are the questions I need answering. Like Max Dowman, we all rate him. But I try not to put too much on Max, because there's going to be games you look mature beyond your years. Exactly. But you're a kid, innit? Like you did your thing last year. It's very different if I'm asking you to do it for 2-3 times a week, not to mention he's 16 physically growing into his body and all that kind of stuff. So it's a madness.
As well as us bringing in certain players, there's a level of expectation I got on a few players within the squad already this season.
Let us know, man.
Saka, obviously, because of his...
Don't save no one as well.
Nah, no chance. Never. I support Arsenal Football Club, but I don't support Players FC. So I want them to do good for my club. But because I'll be here after them, and I was here way before them. Not way, because man's only 35 still. But yeah, Bukayo Saka, obviously, if he gets his fitness, I need him to have one of these seasons now. Like I need him. Obviously, he's PFA, yeah, he does. And he hasn't been fit. We all know that. We could see at the World Cup, we could see at the end of the season in his Achilles and his hamstring. But if he could get back to that fitness, I need Bukayo to start hitting at least 15 goals, man. You need to start showing the world and showing the league why you are one of the top wingers in the world that we all know you are. You're that guy. You're still the face of Arsenal Football Club. This is still the Bukayo Saka show, if you want to say that. If you want to say that. So he's one player that I'm going to be looking out for this season. I don't think he's going to get much minutes because obviously the midfield's stacked, and I don't think he's going to take over Odegaard's position. But Eze, I think he had a good season last season. Some people might say, some people's mixed reviews of him, but I think it was very important because
second half of the season he came into his own. I think he's going to do the left wing thing, if I'm honest, man. That's my hot take. If we don't get him one, bro, Zolis, I think that's your spot to lose. I like what you're doing in pre-season, but when I say the jury's still out, it's purely still out because you're not a known entity and you're just at this club. Martinelli, I must admit, I think we're going to sell him. Now, on one hand, Miles, I think surely you don't sell him without sanctioning something coming in. Like, that's how we work. It's a one in, one out thing. But I'm not going to lie, being in Wales and being at the Community Shield, when I got my program and I saw he wasn't in the matchday squad, starting's one thing I thought, because he's a tool in the toolbox, right? I thought, are you the one they're looking to move on? Because come out 1 year, he's going on loan. We don't know what's happening with Nelson, Vieira, and Jesus. They probably are gone, but you look like to be the one to move on. So it's a weird one, man. So that would be my hot take. And I agree with you with Eze. I think Odegaard's got a lot to prove because I think you and Kai are playing for a new contract, and we know how good you are. You did it in the World Cup, and you was amazing on Sunday. Saka, I agree with you. Like, if we win the league, I want the bougie thing. Yeah, no, facts. Like, I want the bougie thing now, Miles. Last year I was on, I don't really care who scores, how we score.
Yeah, facts.
The league, innit? This year, I want to have my cake and eat it, bro. I want Saka, like, for example, Odegaard's won the assisting. Saka's up there for PFA. Gyökeres and Kai, I know there's Haaland, but for example, they're in the golden boot shouts as well as the clean sheets and stuff. So yeah, who else has got something to prove for you, man? I cut you off, like.
No, it's cool. Eze was one. Obviously, I don't think he's going to get much minutes, but I need to see a bit more from Eze now. I need to just obviously it's your first year at Arsenal, and obviously in new environments can be not intimidating, but it could be. I need to find my feet here. Obviously, it's a lot. It is a lot, and obviously the expectation on him is like, okay, cool. We brought you in one of our attackers to try help us get this over the line, and you did. And now that you're here, you've done it. You can show out a bit more, show a bit more confidence. I want to see a bit more from Eze. As regarding the attack, I think it's just those two. Obviously, you touched on Odegaard already. Obviously, that World Cup, he had a great campaign. I think that World Cup was his pre-season. This is why he's looking so sharp now. Because obviously, at the back end of last season,
his season was just stop.
Injuries. I was at the Forest game when he got injured. Stop. And he's looking like the Odegaard when he got 15 goals. 22, 23. And if he's looking
fit and confident, and like you said, these men are human. People forget these little psychological factors play a massive part, man.
And obviously, when you bring in players like Bruno G, you've got that confidence behind you. Somebody else that can get the ball from deep, because we all know there's been times as Arsenal fans when we're watching our team play and we see Odegaard in the six collecting the ball. It was one of the most frustrating things to, bro. I hated it.
Tone that down a bit less. Get you in the final third, man.
I hated it. It would bypass Zubimendi and Rice. And you see him collecting the ball from Saliba or Gabriel, be like, bro, you're our 10. So now you're there. Who's playing 10?
Because we still got to get the ball from one half to the other still.
Exactly.
And we're playing against low blocks, which, unpopular opinion, People open up against us, like you saw with City. We'll play all the football in the world. That's more for Arteta to fix still.
Yeah, and we're still going to see that from him because obviously he always wants to get on the ball. Best players want to get on the ball no matter where they are on the pitch. But I feel that we're going to see that more or less if we've got someone like Bruno G.
I hope so, man.
Having someone like Bruno G and Miles Lewis-Skelly and Rice behind him will help him unlock more GA, get more goals because he'll be in and around that part of the pitch. So obviously, let's see if he can, if that will pan out for the rest of the season. But other than that, yeah, I just that's it when it comes to attacking wise. When it comes to like expectations, because at the back, I know what they can do.
We got the 2/3 of the pitch on lock, bro. It's just that attack.
It's just the attack,
and we got 121 goals. It's another case of I know we're gonna score, but who's gonna score?
Yeah, who's
it's
gonna
mad.
Score? It's mad. But I'm still. There's a part of me that wants this window to close tomorrow because I'm still got a 5% about Miles Lewis-Skelly. I don't know, bro.
I think he's cool, man.
I think
it'd be criminal to sell him because it can't be a pure profit with him, bro. It don't make sense. That is 70-80 million pound rated man. Like obviously Rice and Bruno and Zubi, they're here for the present. That man is the short, medium, and long term of this football club. I hear you, and I do have that little inkling in the back of my mind. But then I look at it, and anything can happen. Granted, but you didn't go to the World Cup in it, and we never had midfield options. So you had a strong enter last season where big games you've done your business. You've been here in pre-season, and I think you're starting the season. I don't know if Rice is going to start tomorrow against Coventry. Probably will. I don't know if Bruno is. You could argue that. I think Miles is going to be cool, and that's another question, bro. Go on.
Yeah. Miles has to start. It's just that you can't operate as a business to just keep buying and not selling. And we just bought Konsa. Somebody is going. Like we can't just keep the squad. You have to balance the books. It's a business at the end of the day, as well as us being fans. We love our club, but you need to balance the books.
And we've been poor at selling for time.
And somebody's getting sold. I just maybe I'm just being a little bit paranoid. I don't think he's gonna go, but I just hope it's just not Miles Lewis-Skelly. That's the one player that we just
that man bringing the peas. If realistically, like Miles Lewis-Skelly and Wanyeri, even though Wanyeri stocks taking a hit, they'll probably fetch higher fees than a Gabriel Jesus, then a Fabio Vieira, then a Reece Nelson. We're being linked with 3 million. I agree with that. I thought Wanyeri would be the one to go, and that's actually another question before I forget. Yeah. Like, obviously, we know there's a lot of games and whatnot, but like, who do you think is going to be the first choice pivot? Because some people are telling me Miles Lewis-Skelly and Rice and Bruno. Statistically, based off last season, you can say Rice and Zubamendi. I actually feel of the 4, because they're always going to get linked with moves. I think Zubamendi's the one I'm watching, not necessarily Miles Lewis-Skelly, because you might just want to go back to Spain. Like, what do you make of that midfield? Or even, what if Arteta was to say Rice or Zubi, you man are going to be the lone 6. I'm going with a Bruno MLS at either side. So obviously that impacts an Odegaard or an Eze.
Yeah. Depends on the game though.
It's mad.
Regarding Coventry, I still think he was going to go with Miles Lewis-Skelly because he's looked sharp, man. He looked sharp against Man City, and he's looked sharp throughout the whole preseason, to be fair. Like you said, he didn't go to the World Cup, so he's come back. He's on full fitness. He didn't have no injuries at the end of the season. And he wants to carry on his momentum from the back end of last season and show the rest of the
show
team.
That, I'm a starter.
I'm a starter. Yeah, he wants to start because he knows he's good enough. I am good enough. I helped Arsenal win the league at the end of the season, and I started in the Champions League final. So that says a lot.
Exactly.
So I still think it's going to be Miles Lewis-Skelly. I think Bruno, and me personally, I would rest Declan Rice. I would rest because
there's not going to be many opportunities to say that, so I wouldn't be against it.
Exactly. I'm not saying he wouldn't be on the bench. Obviously, definitely you got to have him on the bench if need be, but he doesn't need to start against Coventry at home because we saw what we did to Man City against Man City just the other day with Lewis-Skelly, Bruno Guimaraes, and Odegaard. I'll play the same midfield 3 and then bring Declan Rice off the bench, or you could bring out Zubamendi or Mikel Moreno, whatever it may be. But I'll keep that same 3 because they had a good little synergy, great understanding.
They understood each other's game and that.
Great understanding. So I'll still keep Miles Lewis-Skelly. I wouldn't just drop him. No, I personally wouldn't. But going forward, when we're playing the big dogs and we're going away to the Old Traffords and we're going away to Anfields, there is going to be games where Miles Lewis-Skelly, you might have to sit down, and I will play Bruno G, Rice, and Odegaard. I think that's our strongest 3. But starting the season, I don't want to see Declan Rice yet. I don't want to see him. I think it's too early. Even though he looks fit and ready to go, because you know how these footballers are, I'm ready, I'll play. But sometimes you need to save the player from the player. And
exactly.
he
Like,
doesn't
be
need
a
to
bit
play.
cute and clever, because there's not going to be too many times. And people see this rest thing and think, oh my God, not play him. If Rice plays, then fair play in it. But provided everything goes to plan, he can come off the bench and get a 45, get a 20, get a 30. We all know Aston Villa away. Off the bat, you want Rice to play in that. But if you can be a bit cute and clever and not give him the occasional start, rest his legs, you could suddenly, like, if there's a 10-game stretch and you've been doing that, you've probably saved him for 90 minutes. Like, it will add up to that, because football, bro, it's not even 90 minutes now. It's 97 to 100 owing to the time added on in that. And that's the one thing that I'm kind of scared of this season, is every player did put their body on the line. Like, so for example, Saliba, we know it's documented. He played with an injury in the Champions League final. We know if it never happened for France in that World Cup, it was going to happen at some point in England. Now, I'm not going to say it's a blessing in disguise, but it probably is a bit, because there's an international break coming up. We can rest. Maybe indirectly that's forced the boat out to be even more aggressive for Konsa. So that, like, we knew that was going to be the case. Rice is carrying knocks, Saka's carrying knocks. That is the shit that will derail our season. So we do need to be a bit cute and clever. But then, Miles, I realized to myself, bro, the best teams are playing higher end of 40, close to 60 games this season. The best footballers for club and country are probably playing 70 games. There's an element of we can't do anything about this, but that's why I agree with what you said.
But I think Arteta's learned, and the best person who I've seen do it throughout the years is Pep. He always knows when he wants his team to peak. Arsenal, there was times in the season, obviously, and we never had the squad, and it's naivety. Mikel Arteta is a young manager. The players were young. They've never been in a title race. I feel like we peaked. We peaked just to keep up with Man City around February. We peaked then. Okay, but we're still here in the race with them, where they're just still, okay, cool. We're going to run off, though. Last 200 meters, when we hit that bend, we're pushing.
And that's what April was kind of looking like. And big up the boys for locking in.
Exactly. So before, and then we would fade out, and players we're going to the Champions League, where Arteta's not rotating, but he's scared because he needs to still keep up with Pep and their squad, where they had a bigger squad at the time. And when they peak, it's like, okay, they're going on a run now, and we can't keep up, and we'll probably drop points away to Everton and a stupid Forest draw, and where they're just on a run.
Lord knows we had a lot of those last season as well, to be fair.
Well, obviously now we're learning. Now this is why he's building a bigger squad. He's getting the quality like the Bruno Guimaraes. You can sit down the Declan Rice. It's like, you don't need to play Declan Rice, because if roles are reversed, I can't see Pep Guardiola starting if he did have Rodri against Coventry at home, and you still got someone like Elliot Anderson and a Bruno Guimaraes in your squad, and Rodri's just coming off the back of playing a million games.
And everyone in that midfield similar levels now. Like Norgard, he could have played more, but clearly there's a drop off. You don't rate him. You've got Bruno, you've got Zubi, you've got MLS, you've got Rice. There's kind of no excuses now. It's not the same, but I was talking to my Man United brethren. I feel the same way, like isolated to you lot story with Michael Carrick, innit? Like last season, you never had midfielders. It probably is what it is. Now you've got Santos. Now you've got Colby. Now you've got Telemans. Now you've got Bruno. There's probably one name, Belieber, that I'm missing out. Now it's a case of, like Arteta, you've got the ingredients. What meal do you want to chef up? Because that's what I think Arteta's thing is. His thing is just, I need players of a certain level, rightly or wrongly. I don't think he's on gambling at times. So now you've got that in midfield.
I listened to his interview the other day with I forgot what it was called. The guy with the glasses is good. You know, the funny guy with the glasses with the bald head.
Men in Blazers podcast. When I think he was talking about attacking the league versus defending the league. I like that language, by the way.
Yeah, good. It shows optimism. Shows that we want to go and get it again. And obviously, they asked him like, "Who's your biggest threat?" And he said, "Ourselves." And it's true.
Well, what do we say as Arsenal fans? Music to my ears,
it's ourselves, and that's a message that he's sending to the squad, sending to the boys. They all know they're strong. They all know we've done this. We are the team that everybody wants to beat.
Just don't get excited.
Don't get excited. We could do something, because at the end of the day, we chased history of actually getting it over the line and winning the league and being the first team to do it within 22 years. Now you can actually create your own history, this squad.
Going back to back, winning a Champions League, things we haven't seen in our life.
Yeah, so now you've broke the hoodoo, because there's teams before that's won the league. You were the team that broke the league, and you're always going to go down the history books. The team
first of the Emirates era as well.
Yes, but now you can actually create your own history. Your things that Invincibles didn't do, 98 didn't do, all those great teams, they didn't do it. You could be the first. So that's another driving point that he can drive within the squad, and something the boys can have within themselves. Yeah, we was the first team to go back-to-back for Arsenal Football Club. So I still think there's there's enough there for the squad to drive on and try to get another title over the line. Obviously, some people say this is the hardest thing to do, which it is, because I think the only people who's done it is Chelsea, City, and Man United. No,
Yeah,
they're the only three that's only gone back to back.
Pep, Jose, and Sir Alex.
So yeah, exactly. So and look, Liverpool, they had a great squad. They had that team was amazing with Salah, Sane, and they still couldn't do it. So
even recent years, like Slot won it. Granted, it's not the same, but like it's the same squad. Well, they brought in more players and it went worse. So I do agree with that. Yeah. And that's why I look at the club as well, bro. It's like, as much as it's Arteta and the players, I do look at the club because there's got to be something. We are one of the biggest clubs in England. We're the third biggest, excluding Man United and Liverpool. I feel as a club, when you go throughout the year, since the 1930s, we've won stuff in the late 90s. We've won stuff in the 2000s. It feels like, and I'm not saying it with these lot, but it just feels like we build and build and build. We get to that point, we achieve success, and we don't kick on and make that a consistent. Yeah. So I agree with you in that, because I kind of say it in a different way. I kind of say, and this all comes from a place of love, you lot haven't done anything I haven't seen before. In that, I've seen us win the Prem. I've seen you get to 2 Champions League finals. Well, I've seen you get to a Champions League final. So that's where I'm looking at the club. And that's actually why I asked you about the left winger, because as much as I understand about the market and value for money and all of those talking points, that's an evident area. That would have told me, like, I know it didn't bang, but if you got Vinicius or if you spent that 117 million for Rodgers, I'm not saying these things wouldn't work, but that would have made me think of, okay, now we're on a new beginning. So it's an interesting one, man.
Not for that. When we first...
No, I'm just saying, for argument's sake, it would have told me, because that's nothing we don't normally do. I'm not on 117 million for Rodgers. I wanted him, but I can understand the club walking away. My thing is, you can walk away from the Rodgers thing. The Vinny thing doesn't happen. The Bacola this. My thing is just what now? Like, come September the 1st, did you address those 2 areas? And only they can answer that.
One thing I will say is, when it comes to the market and when it comes to business, Arsenal's not good.
Yeah, no, we don't get zagged.
We're not good. Because I was speaking to... me and Tigo was having a conversation off camera, and we spoke about it on camera as well. Big up to you. Yeah? He was saying, at the time, he was the Morgan Rodgers deal. I was on my show. I was like, I love Morgan Rodgers. Because let me cut a long story short. Prior before that, it was Morgan Rodgers, Gibbs, White, and Eze. We used to compare those 3. Yeah, this is before Arsenal even signed Eze. And I used to say Morgan Rodgers was like top for me. I loved Rodgers. I thought he was quality. When they wanted 130 for him, I was like, no, I don't want to pay that much for Morgan Rodgers, because if you're spending 130 on a player, that means I need someone that is going to be in and around the Vinny Juniors, the Caveat Scalias.
You have to be world class. You
have to be world class.
Flirting with them kind of combos.
Haaland and Mbappe, like you start going to those guys. I know what I'm going to get.
Yeah.
And I was saying, there's no point spending that money on Morgan Rodgers, because we spent 60, 70 million on Eze. They near enough do the same thing. So it's pointless. Cool. What we've seen now with Chelsea, they've spent 117 or 116 on Morgan Rodgers, but now what they've done, Chelsea Football Club, is they've done it. I don't want to quite budget. I'm just going to try to break it down. I don't know the ins and outs of it, but there was a deal. Tigo was telling me there's a deal within 45 days. You can loan a player or buy a player back off that player that sold you the team, i.e. Garnacho, or
that's where the Buki dodgy dealings.
That's where the Buki dodgy. Yes, exactly. So, to cut a long story short, it looks like Chelsea spent 117 on Morgan Rodgers. They're not spending 117 on Morgan Rodgers. Whereas they've got their accountants, and people might say it's cheating, but it's not. It's just exploiting.
At the end of the day, the game is the game. We might have to adapt some of these practices, man.
And these are the practices Arsenal's don't do. These are the practices that I feel like Arsenal Football Club is just not. We're not acute in that field. We just saw 117, 130 no. We didn't look at different angles of way of getting this player. Whereas Chelsea they've spent 117 on him. But I think if we see Jackson go to Aston Villa within a few days for 40 or 60 million.
Now you know what time is.
Now you know.
We should have tried to flog them 1-2 players. Exactly. You know Nelson and that, man. We should have tried the thing still.
And it's not even. I'm not even just talking about the Morgan Rodgers deal. I'm just talking about in general, like Arsenal Football Club in general. I don't think we sell well. We don't sell well as a business, and I feel that's hindering us, because if us not selling it's not helping us get the top players that we need. Like
player trading needs to get better, man, because I think we're going to step into that, because we're signing 1-2 young players and whatnot. Obviously, in years to come, they all progress to the first team, great, but there's a 10, there's a 15, there's a 20 odd million quid. Generally, we need to get better at selling those kind of young players. We need to get better at the loan market. We need to get better as, like you said, flogging these guys, because I don't rate Nelson necessarily. And we all know what happens with Gabriel Jesus. And I'm not saying it's easy, but I think every Arsenal fan will probably admit, if these same players with what they are now were at certain other clubs, other clubs might get a random 15 or 20, and everyone's like, how did you get that? You man are money laundering, you're doing something dodgy. We need to kind of get there. Are you upset with Berta? Because I only say this because obviously we can't answer because we're not there in it. I just find, and I can't find the tweet, but someone made a point that like when it was Bruno and when it was Konsa, why does it seem to be ownership to ownership kind of thing now? And then obviously the Rodgers thing didn't happen. I assume that's Berta's like remit. Obviously the Vinny thing didn't happen. I assume that's his remit. There's been a couple of other stuff. We still ain't really sold anything. I'm not blaming the guy, but it's the same way if Mikel Arteta does well on a football pitch or managing and the players do well on the pitch, I can critique or praise. Do you feel we need a bit more from Berta in that regards? Because big him up for the part he's played and big him up for last season and all the new contracts and that. But I did think this was a big summer for him specifically.
Yeah, of course. Last season, we got players that we didn't know about, the Mascaras and all these guys, untapped talent in a different market where he was in Spain. So I feel like he has done his job in certain aspects. But this season, it has been a little bit of a disappointment because you know that we've been needing a left winger. You know that Arsenal Football Club for years. You like you said, it's ownership to ownership to get some of these other players over the line, and it seems like he hasn't been a part of it. It might have been, but like you said, we're not there. But I feel like there's just some kind of form of a disconnect between him and Mikel Arteta, and we saw that last year with Gyökeres and Benjamin Sesko. We
and
saw
the Sesko thing,
yeah. Sesko is Arteta.
You can just see that's an Arteta striker, innit?
Yeah,
Young, could be molded, all of that. Gyökeres went against the grain. It's like what you see is what you get, which I think helped us and maybe helped Arteta in his coaching.
But I just feel like I don't know. I don't know if they're both on the same page. I feel like more Edu and Arteta was more on the same page, if anything. But the thing is, we don't know if Edu was capable of getting certain players over the line. That's it. I don't know if he's links, whatever it may be. But I don't know. But yes, I feel like he could do a bit more this window. But we just have to. But are we just saying that because we didn't get the attackers we want? Because if we turn around tomorrow and we get, I don't know, like a Yildiz, for example, and Berta got us a Yildiz, are we going to turn around and say Berta hasn't done his job?
No. Do you know what? Yeah, one thing I would say with Berta in comparison to Arteta, and I'd actually say sorry to Edu about 1-2 things because it came out when we got Bruno. Yeah, that I think David Ornstein did a big article and he was saying in 2022 Edu and the other dons were on it, Arteta wasn't. So I apologize for that. I like Berta. Like you're of a different level to Edu, innit? Like what you keep hearing me say, new contracts. That's the biggest thing. Like regardless of what happens with Ranieri, he's under contract. His deal didn't run down. Saliba, Saka, this one, that one. Man got new deals. You did what you needed to do in the market last year. I like the approach and the gamesmanship. Sometimes, like what Berta does in that, I negotiate different deals and then I go with what I want to go to. He plays a game of chicken. Now, obviously, no man is without fault. Sometimes his approach might have bit him on the arse. Like maybe we was hoping Villa and Rodgers as time goes on, the price is going to drop. That didn't bang. I know it's Jeremy Monga, but we left the door open for City to get involved. So there's probably been a bit of egg on faces. And you're right, we probably are kind of frustrated in that regards. We don't know everything. My thing with Berta is you've done well. Just make sure September the 1st comes and we've done what we need to do. Now, granted, if it's just a Konsa and a Bruno G thing for me, I think we've got enough to win the Prem. I do think we've got enough to make a real good go of the champs, but there's nothing that makes me think, oh, you know what? Excluding the historical favourites in Europe, like the powerhouses, there's something there, if that makes sense. So I'll give Berta that. I like his ability to pivot as well. I do like his ability to pivot because you were trying for Gurhi and Howson last summer. You went and got Mascara. I do like, at the end of the day, you got Gyökeres over the line. I do think them kind of situations there, we wouldn't have got Gyökeres or Sesko, or if it was Edu, we would have been running that Gyökeres thing to the last day of the summer. So I do think it's that. I do think to a degree, Berta's reputation might precede him, bro, in the sense that we saw what he did at Atletico. We knew how he started at Arsenal. He looks like a mob boss. We just won the league. We're thinking things are going to happen. There's probably that element of him. It's just for me, bro, I don't know where you pivot for left wing. Like, I'm just an armchair expert. I don't know where we go or like what port of call would go to.
But I've seen that a few Atletico Madrid fans are happy. They're happy that Berta's left because now they're saying they're bringing in younger talent. They're getting in players that they've wanted. They're selling players. So they're going to, I don't know. I'm just listening to what they've been saying. Obviously, they had him for a long period of time, but we just have to wait and see, man. Obviously, it would have been nice if you could have got someone like a Julian Alvarez over there because obviously you was there with him. you know that player. You even helped get that deal over the line. He was there while he was when he came over from Manchester City.
They're the man I think we need to get when they're at River Plate, bro. That's actually where my thinking is going to now. Like, I know the market's mad. You have to pay with what you want. I like on occasion, you know, Declan Rice, Bruno, Konsa, relative household names. But I think you got to find the Mo Salah before he goes Liverpool. The Gundogan and Kevin when they're in Germany. I think that's the thing now. Doué when he's at Rennes. I think that's where we have to go to now. Or we're just going to get into this scenario where people are going to try to bump us. And we've shown we've got money. We were prepared to put the Vinny P's down, but not everybody's Vinicius Jr. And obviously we never got Vinny. So can you find Vinny when he's in Brazil and all these things, which I don't think happens in 2 weeks or so, but you never know. And you never know.
But obviously, going forward, now that we're champions, these are the things that we should starting to look at. Obviously, looking in different untapped markets and different untapped areas, because we know that Arsene Wenger, when he was there, he was a go. No one was in that French market, and he was there picking up players and identifying gems in and around that French league. So, I
come
agree
back and scout for us, Wenger, man. Purely just scouting, fam.
Yeah,
he must know some youths out there, man. There must be some. Even if I flip it, bro, and I like Zolis because I do think this is from that school of thought. I'm more focused on young players. There could be, for argument's sake, some 26-year-old playing in, I don't know, Somalia. He's a baller. He just needs a platform. Grab him, like you said there. We used to be that. Our signings have kind of been bait. And if I'm honest, when it is the gems, it's defensively. Like Mascara, defensively. Timber was there. Ajax, defensively. We don't really. Like it feels like we move quicker in defense when it comes to defensive targets. It feels like, you know, we're a bit more innovative in that regards. We just do the bait things in attack, man. Like, when it comes not to for 50 million, fair enough, it's bait.
When it comes to attack, I don't rate Arteta's talent ID. Anything to do with anything to do with the defense, oh man, 10-10.
Yeah, you keep bro, bring your centre backs, your left backs, and they've been fucking scoring for us. Calafiori could be a left wing option, to be fair.
10-10. I'd even give him the midfield. 10-10.
Yeah, no, you know what you're doing in midfield.
Yeah, you can identify talent. Yeah, the attack. Not respectfully, I don't kill Noddy Madueke. We all know that he's still got a lot to do.
He does get scapegoat. Yeah, shit, but does. I do think it goes too far.
Yeah, it does go a bit too far, but it is what we've got him now, innit? But
for me, you're the last one of them kind of man now. Like everything else, level.
But it just feels like when it comes to his talent ID, he doesn't. When it comes to attack, he wants players, and all over the pitch, he wants players to do more than one position or have a play in a dual position. Either can he play up front? Can he play left wing? Can he play in
like a Swiss Army knife type of thing?
Yeah, everything.
It's not really specialist. It's like I'm versatile.
Yeah, the new word that what's it called? A left fielder or a right fielder. Can you, like these new terminologies? These people are saying.
Crazy.
But anyway,
what we're covering.
Yeah, it's mad. But I don't think he can identify a great attacker. He wants a player that could do more than one job, and what we need is someone who's actually good at what they actually do when it comes up front. And we thought we had that in Gyökeres, and
that's why I like Gyökeres. That's why for me,
he's good at that. He's a finisher.
Squad thing.
But Arteta don't play to that. He don't play to his strength. We don't.
In the modern strat, you got to drop deep and do all these things.
Exactly. So when it comes to Arteta's attacking ID, I'm not really a big fan of it. I feel like he can do better. I feel like he should get people in and around him that can help him get more better attacking ID. Obviously, this is why we brought in Berta, but I just don't think that they're seeing eye to eye as much. Maybe I'm reading too much into it.
But you want that friction though, bro. Like
they're on different pages, DG. Sometimes
it's true. No, I think you're right, because I think one thing that might come into play is Odegaard and Kai Havertz. Now, two players divide opinion. They're key members of Mikel Arteta's side. If you're looking at it on a finance thing, I don't know if Berta necessarily wants to give these players who's got 2 years left on their deals an extension. We all know Kai and Odegaard are on big money now, and you can actually, as an Arsenal fan, you can see Berta's side, you can see Arteta's side. Arteta might be saying no, rightly so. They're two key players, etc., etc. And then there's a key case of evolution. Like if Eze takes his game to another level, or when that time comes to put Max in there, if we finally do sign that mad striker, yes, we need depth and things, but these are not like the kind of arguments become redundant, innit? And we've seen ruthlessness before as well, to be fair. It's an interesting one, man. I expect that friction. I agree with what you said about Arteta's talent ID with attackers, yeah. But I also feel he likes the bouginess, innit? Like, I think he likes the bouginess. Like, you want the Vinicius and that. Whether we can get that's another thing. But then I look at it, Arteta, and this is just for me, for someone that wants better. You've worked with Sterling at the time when Sterling was doing what he was doing. You've seen Sane. You know the levels that's required. I need you to, and you probably are, I need you to bang that drum, man, because that left wing, a part of me actually thinks, bro, what if we just got Semenyo in January? Like,
Bruv,
we might not have been the answer, and it might have been another club linked with Vinny, and we're vexed and saying, "Oh my God, we got my man in January, whatever." But
that would have been
and
it.
even that, the left wing market shit. Like, you look at the front three
Dead.
positions, yeah. Right wing is meaty, up front's meaty, left wing's meaty, but left wing's probably the meatiest of the lot, bro. Probably is.
It's meaty, but PSG's got all the bloody wingers in the world.
This is what I'm saying. Them man had the best attack, and they brought in more, man. So we need to learn.
Bro, they've got all the wingers. They've got all the top talent. They've got Desiree Doué who could play left wing. They've got Bradley Bacolo who could play left wing. And they've got Kvaratskhelia who could play left wing.
And they just brought in Mika Gotts. And, okay, fair enough. People don't rate him like that. But Ferran Torres. So you can see what they're doing. Dembele will be here all day talking about their talent. There's probably some youths, 18, 17 years of age, that equally can bring something to the table as well.
Do you, let me ask you a question. Do you feel like we needed to bring in Konsa, though? Because it's split. The fan base is still split, thinking, why did you spend that money on a defense where you could have used that money for the attack? Because if we go into this rest of the season, rest of the window without buying an attacker, they're going to look at that Konsa door like, why did you use that money? But obviously, the other side of the coin is that Saliba is going to be out for a couple of weeks or a couple of months, and we need a defender. I personally feel like it was a big gamble. We could have gambled without buying another defender, but I could see why they did. It was a big gamble. It's a gamble.
I'm not on gambling. I went on gambling. And I think Arteta's thinking is, would I like both, ideally? But if worse comes to worse, would I rather an attacker or would I rather have my defense sorted? Because I obviously want to improve on last season. But it could be a carbon copy of last season where, yeah, the attackers are frustrating me. My defenders are doing their thing. Now, I have to rate Konsa because you probably know Saliba and Gabriel, them man are fit. I'm not playing. But you said, you know what, fuck it. I'm a 30 guy in my own right. I'm coming to bring to kind of cause problems for them, which is only good for us. Equally, we've been focusing on Saliba, but Ben White and Timber, they pick up knocks. Ben White being fit for 3 to 5 months, that I'm not a gambling man in it. I don't really want to gamble with that. So you can shift over there. Yeah, exactly. And again, Calafiori, Hincapié, the two fullbacks. There's a lot of knocks. Magalhaes actually had a big injury, and as you know, they're coming off the back of a long season and a World Cup straight into this. I didn't really want to gamble. I wanted to have too much. Where I understand some Arsenal fans is, I think we needed a defender. I think we needed a centre mid. But you could argue we've strengthened already strong areas even more. So I'm kind of cool with it, man. Like, we got a defensive, the great Arsenal wall. I'm cool with it. Could we have pivoted to a cheaper target? I hear it. 50 million for a 28-year-old that's won the Europa League, etc. I don't think Konsa's a world beater, but I'm not mad about it. My big thing is just that left wing.
As he's signed now, it's just like, at first it's like, oh, please, man.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely hearing it a lot more now that he's signed. Again, I wanted Konsa before Konsa just because he was younger. Just because he's younger, and I actually think I don't rate you at centre half, but I think you would have been a cheeky little right back option.
You can't play right back, DG, man. We saw what Konsa did.
He made it. Yeah, but Konsa fucked up as well, if we're keeping it true.
Yeah, but I'd rather have Konsa, though, as a right back than Konsa.
Konsa's better right now, 100%.
Obviously, like you said, but 50 million. This is the market we're in, though. This is the market.
I think it's fair.
It's not the worst.
That's what I'm saying.
And if you got someone who of his quality that's willing to sit down, I know that they're going to sit down for certain games and they're not
back himself,
and back himself, then obviously, and he's played the Premier League. He's been here for years. He's an experienced player. It's not a bad signing. I just feel like maybe we could have used that money somewhere else. But at the same time, like you said, you don't want to gamble. You don't want to gamble because there's players in and around our squad, especially our backline, that are injury prone. Calafiori is injury prone. Obviously, he's a centre back. It's the other side of the field. But if one goes down, it affects the rest. It's a domino effect. You've got Timber, we've got Ben White. Both of them, we don't know, injury prone. Saliba, he's out until after Christmas. So I can understand the signing, but I can still understand where we could have took a gamble at the same time, because I still believe that our midfield and our defense is strong enough to get us to the Christmas point while Saliba comes back. But I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it because the main signing for me was Bruno G. That was the main sign. That I needed Bruno G. This might sound outrageous.
Like he's been here all year, man. I'm for years better.
Brother, I needed Bruno G more than I needed that Vinny signing for me. Because
I hear it. It's gonna sound mad, but I actually hear what you're saying.
And when I say it, and I said it on my show, and people was saying, "Oh, it's crazy. How can you not want Vinny G?" And in the ideal world, I'd love a Vinny G. Everybody would. But I know that Declan Rice needed rest, and Declan Rice can sit on the bench because Bruno G is in the squad. When Declan Rice came off the pitch, not even came off the pitch, when Declan Rice went right back against West Ham, 15 minutes, and there was a gaping hole in that midfield. We looked like we looked like we was going to throw away the league title within.
So
10,
imagine you got
15 minutes.
Bruno G, where you still have to throw Rice to right back, but my man comes in, the absent might not be felt. And also, yeah, you just gave me a thought, yeah. One thing I like about this Konsa signing is, you know how football is. Like you said earlier, players need saving from themselves. It probably was the logical decision for Saliba to take the World Cup and not play in the Champions League, to take them off. We all know that's not how the real world works, innit? So my point is, when you've got Konsa and you got this one and that one, you're not rushing Saliba back necessarily. You're not rushing Timber back necessarily. You're not getting into that scenario where Mascara's young, innit? He's gonna make mistakes. You're not kind of forcing him to play himself in and out of form. You're not throwing a young Marley Salmon into the Wolves where I rate him and that. But clearly, you play young defenders and they make mistakes. That is gonna be more hurtful for your team than if you've got a young attacker missing 1v1s, etc., etc. So that's also a good thing for me. What do you make of the age thing, man? Because if I'm honest, I like to see my club do different shit. Like, I might not rate Gyökeres, but that was a signing that we all probably thought we're either going to get Sesko or do nothing else. That was like something different. Konsa, 28 years of age, 50 million, 2 years left. 9 times out of 10, we'll probably look at that rumor and say, it's not going to bang. Bruno G, 28. Some people would say that. Now, I don't think people move like these ages, they're pensioners and whatnot, yeah. But I actually like it because, one, it's the Alex Ferguson thing. You're cherry picking and making sure that, we're getting the best outside the rest in it type of thing. Also, you're raising both the ceiling and the floor because now you've got Konsa, Saliba, Gabriel all fighting. That's all great. I like that we're doing it a bit different. It's a bit mad though, because somebody said to me, we spent 145 million. I was like, where? Then I did the maths. 30, 40 on Zolis. You've obviously paid for Hincapié the 45, 50 odd million quid, and you're bringing in Konsa and you're bringing in Bruno G. So I kind of like it, but like, what do you make of that? What do you make of it? And so far, like, because you said, yeah, the window shuts. The window shuts now. What do you give our window out of 10?
Window out of 10, I'd give it a 7, 6.
I think 6, 7 as well. If you force me, I'm gonna say 6.
Yeah, because
I like the signings in isolation.
Yeah, but we haven't sold well. So if I'm looking at
that left wing's not been addressed.
If I'm looking at overall transfer market, like selling and buying, I'd give it a 6. I'd give it a 7 if it's talking about the signings that we brought in, because we've covered that right back, centre back, i.e. Konsa. We've got that Bruno G piece that we absolutely needed, and we've got someone like Solis, who is, like you said, is a gamble, but he's looking promising. And
he looks. I'm happy with that guy.
Back up, which is. That's half a point. That's whatever. But if we did sell some of our players, some of our assets, and get some good money and brought in a big striker or a big attacker, it probably would have gone up to like an 8, 9. But right now, I'm just having it as a 6 as an overall. But going back to your original point about the ages, listen, I'm not mad at it, bro, because we've had Patrice Evra banter us and all these other clubs banter us, so you can't win anything with kids. Now these guys are in their prime ages, 27.
Prime, bro.
27s, 26s, and they've still got years in their legs. We've still just seen someone like Granit Xhaka, who's 34, just getting to the team of the season. Exactly. And
players are looking after themselves a lot more. Chelsea just want to sign Danny Welbeck. It's not 98 years of age.
Yeah, it's not, bro. It's the sports science has evolved, and we've evolved as people. People are getting faster. Bro,
Santi just retired the other day,
brother. Bro, Modric's still playing. He's 40.
Exactly. It's mad. It's mad. Bro, like Ronaldo's just saying, I'm going to call it a day, but him, he might not. Bro, Messi's still kicking ball.
Bro, there's man in and around the game that are still older. Obviously, they can't operate at a level where they once was. But where we are right now, I'm looking at the numbers. Like, Saliba's 25, Ben White's 28, and Capia's 24.
Our oldest outfield player is Marino still.
Brother, I'll take it. Because
I'm not mad at that.
I'm not mad at it at all. This is the age where these guys are ready to win, and we've got a place, and we're in a space
win now mode. We
can win now. Yeah, seize the present. We've been through stages where we've had young players and young talent, and they've got to this age, but because we're not winning, Man United will take them, Man City will take them, Barcelona will take them,
Van Persie,
Chelsea will take
for
them.
Years. The minute you're fully fit and take it to another level,
safe. Team will take you. Safe.
Yeah, safe. And it worked out for him and United, not us.
So I'm glad that we've still got, our squad. It's not an aging squad. It's a squad where most players are now are hitting the ages where they're just about ready to peak, or be next year or next 2 years, they're going to peak. And hopefully we can capitalize on that. Within a few years, within the next 4 or 5 years, if Mikel Arteta's still here or whatever manager it may be, we're going to have to start phasing out a few players, and that's inevitable. We're going to have to start rebuilding.
That's natural. Like, that's going to happen. Like,
that's going to happen.
Like the players that helped us get top 4, weren't necessarily here to help us challenge for a league again and actually get over the line. And the people that were here helping us win a league or get to this point, you might not be here when we're trying to retain a lead. And the players that helped us retain 2 Premier Leagues, you might not be there if by God's grace, in the next 2 seasons, we win the Champions League. So it's always a process. For me, I'd give it a 6 or a 7 just because isolated, I'd give Zolis an 8 out of 10. I was backing him because I know people saying who is that and things. You're the very signing I've been kind of calling for, innit? And I think probably by default, you're a first choice left winger now. Bruno G, 10 out of 10. Like one of the best centre mids in the Premier League.
10.
Was spoiled for options. Konsa, I'd give it a strong 8. I don't think the world of Konsa, but I do think you're a good player and you're making us even more stronger. So isolation, I think is good. Obviously, I can't start doing 7s, 8s, 9s, 10s if you haven't addressed the left wing beyond Zolis because we were told we wanted 2 attackers. And I don't care about it necessarily, but the outgoings, you ain't really brought P's in. And for me, I only care about the outgoings because Jesus, more so Reece Nelson, Fabio Vieira. People hang around too long here, bro.
It's not something I'm gonna hang my hat on. I'm not gonna die on that hill, but it's just like you look at certain videos, training videos, and you see players in and around the squad. You just think to yourself,
"How you still here?
Like, how's man still here? How's certain man still here?" And this is money that we could be using to get other players. That's all I look at it. Obviously, they got the money to spend the players, but there's certain man that's still eating up wages.
This is what I'm saying.
And I'm not trying to guys, I'm not trying to get into that bag and looking but I'm just looking at as a fan. Like we all know, not even just Arsenal, every fan base looks at certain players in their club thinking, wow, he's still here. Like he should have left a long time ago.
Jesus is on 200 grand. Not that I'm pocket watching, 200 odd grand. Reece Nelson on 100 odd grand. Fabio Vieira's probably on a 50, 60. Them resources could be invested into new contracts and new players and ultimately looking more pretty on the balance sheet, innit? Because we all know we're big on the self-financing and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so that's it's just from that standpoint. Obviously, I just feel like certain players should have been moved on. But other than that, the players that we've got in yeah, it looks good. This Solis guy, he does actually look good, man. He looks 2 assists. He looks good, man. I'm bullish about Solis still. Man. He looks like a decent player, man. He looks like someone who's willing to learn, someone who's willing to run as well. He's understanding that it's not about just going forward. Yeah, he's fit.
Which goes over people's heads. He's had a pre-season. Certain man don't get that. He's
fit. But how do you feel about going into this season with just him and Martinelli though? Nothing else happens. Would you feel like
this is why I said it's capped for me because again, I like Zolis, but I know I don't expect anyone to do it for 38 games. So if I rate you and all my hats on you, and you lose form and whatnot, I'm gonna start having the same conversations. Like I know what Martinelli is. As I said earlier, I've accepted Martinelli for what he is in it, but Martinelli betting on Zolis. Beyond that, we're gonna have conversations about Eze moving back over there or somebody like a Max Dalman or that playing on the left. I think it's a gaping hole, man. I think if you could get me a left winger, another one, I think it's 10 out of 10. Well, 9, because then I'll be stingy about outgoings. I think, I need something, man. I need something. But I'm prepared to wait now.
Yeah, I'll wait. If we kept those 2, I need a striker then. I need something. Jesus needs to go and someone needs to come in. Or
I don't think we need a striker this summer, you know. I would like a striker. I think we badly need a left winger.
I would rather go into the season with those 2 as our left wing and get a new striker than rather get.
I hear that. But what striker though? Like, does Osimhen boost the thing up that much?
No, but I just feel he just gives you a different dynamic, and he's more fluent in the attack when it comes to, i.e., Gyökeres, because that's the type of player I'll be comparing him to, not Havertz. I think Havertz is a separate type of player. But Gyökeres, I feel like he doesn't give you as much when it comes to the movement. And I feel like his movement is a bit stagnated. Obviously, like I said earlier, I don't think we played to his strengths, but
that's
Victor Gyökeres...
he does pull out,
Yeah, but Osimhen, I feel like he's a player that can make his own goal. He can make something happen. Just by his movement, him being a nuisance. He's big, he's strong, he loves a header, he's quick, he's a good finisher. He's just a bit more rounded than Gyökeres, I should say. That's all it is. I don't think there's much difference, but I think he'll just give us just a bit more. That's all. When it comes to like the overall play, I feel like he's a bit more of a plug and play.
100%.
Compared to Gyökeres. So that's all it is really. But if we don't get Victor or Osimhen, it is what it is. I still feel like we're just strong enough to be better than everybody else because everybody else is just not that good this season. That's what
would make me feel a lot better, is there is that kind of thought. Like, I do think about Gyökeres and Kai Havertz as Firmino. I know they ain't got the general play, but sometimes the striker or the one that plays through the middle isn't necessarily the most clinical in a lot of these teams. So if we could get Saka back up to his best, if Zolis can give me certain numbers, if God wants to bless Martinelli and we see something close to 2022, 23, if Eze moves over there and hits it off, you got your, we could kind of cheat the game with the striker thing a little bit, because then obviously you'd want Kai, well, and definitely Gyökeres, because that's the one thing you can do. There's less of a pressing need to live or die by your goals, innit? And you know what? That would be my final question for you. Would you take Marmoush? Because Spurs have been linked with him. I think yeah, that's a FIFA thing. It sounds good. I think they're going to get
Where's he going to
man.
play? He can't play left wing.
Left wing up front option, but I'm not for it, man.
No.
And he's on 300 bags a week.
No way I'm taking Marmoush. No way I'm taking Marmoush. No way.
Or Savino. And that's what I'm saying, Miles. I don't want us to be like them, bro. People get fucked.
Bro, if it's not broke, don't fix it. At the end of the day, obviously, we want an attacker, but don't chase it, because something might open in January's window. And I still feel we're going to be up there the time January comes around. I don't think Arsenal's going to fall off a cliff and be 5th or 6th. We'll still be 1st or 2nd, 3rd. And if we are 3rd, we'll probably be like 3 points or 4 points off top. So we can still wait. You don't need to just rush and say, oh, let's get Marmoush because he's available. No. Because now we're stuck with Marmoush within next season, and on 300, like you said, 300 bags. It'll be another Jesus situation. And
I won't lie though. The one thing I don't want to see, and I know it can happen in the cup, Victor Gyökeres, Noni Madueke, Gabriel Martinelli. I don't want to see that as a midfield, as a front three, man. I think that is so horrible. I think that was the most horrible combination I saw last year, but there was zero ball retention. It was just brainless stuff, man. But
you'll see.
Yeah, no, the cups do your thing. The little dibby games do your thing, innit? And I know sometimes it's need must, but it's horrible, cuz it's horrible. Together is horrible, bro. It's horrible. And we have got Max, to be fair. I wish Max Salmon was born right-footed, because then my left hand sorted, but it's not how life works.
Yeah, Max Diamond, obviously, unfortunately, I would say for Ethan Waneri, he's the one that's kind of edged him out a bit.
He's one that needs to wait for a pathway, man.
Yeah, he needs to wait for a pathway. But yeah, other than that, bro, I'm confident, man. I genuinely are confident, and that's just because the squad, like I said, the squad we built and all the competition in and around us, I just don't think they're strong enough. Because I know when it gets to later on in the season, this is when you need to rely on your squad. Because from October last season, Arsenal was playing 3 games a week, and we were still in all competitions just because our squad was big.
Certain man ain't experienced that under the current regime.
We're not forgetting, Man City got knocked out of the Champions League early, you know.
Early.
Yeah, they got knocked out early. In considering the team who they are, they don't get knocked out that early. They got knocked out very early in that competition. So they was resting players and having rest when we were still going away to Atletico Madrid. We were still playing. That's
why I have to respect my players, man. You put your bodies on the line for this club.
Leverkusen. They got knocked out the same round we played Bayern Leverkusen. They got knocked out that round.
Yeah.
So the next round, we still had to go to Atletico Madrid and come home and play this team, Everton away, and then go whatever team it was. But so it's all about squad depth, man. And we just know the Premier League is not an easy league, bro. You can't. It's not a given. Even tomorrow against Coventry, not a given. Turn up. We're the champions. Everybody wants to
earn the right to win, man.
Yeah. So yeah, man. I feel like we got a good squad. We got lots of depth, and I feel like we're gonna do it again, bro. Honestly, we'll be there. Honestly, I thought we was going to do it even when they had Rodri and Elliot Anderson there. I still think we still had enough. But now that Man City's lost Rodri,
massive loss.
I just don't see,
because you can't replace him. You have to adapt. And I think even from what I saw against City on Sunday, and I can't draw conclusions, Rodri is one thing, but the midfield is all out of sorts. And that's why I was at the game. I was like, literally a couple of seconds before Calafiori scored, I was like, hey, we're winning today. Because we had their number in midfield. We all know if there's no midfield, Haaland's irrelevant. They got so much things to fix.
You can see
this is why we need to take our chances.
Yeah. You could see against that Man City game that the players looked over to their left and just said, you know what, we don't rate these, man. We rate Man City previous. This Man City, what's going on against us, and Maresca, oh no. We don't rate him. We rate Pep. We rate Rodri. We've
gone to war with some serious City sides. This ain't one of them right now.
Bruno, Silva, sorry. Rodri, Pep. Obviously he didn't play, but obviously John Stones, who's a big character in the dressing room. Mark Guehi.
That's another thing. They've lost a lot of characters.
Yeah.
You know?
These are the guys we're going against. Not Kovacic and a new Elliot Anderson, the team that we've beat already. We beat you.
When Doku, you're live or dying by Doku, you're in a scary scenario, man.
Bruv. It is what it is, bro. You got Phil Foden playing in midfield, who hasn't been playing for the best part of how many months, and now you want to play in the midfield against us. It's like I feel they came with that mentality, and also it's another psychological thing because when they walked out, they had both trophies there. We walked past the Premier League, they walked past the FA Cup. You know what I'm saying? There's levels now. It's not normally,
shit. No, hey,
yeah,
we're Premier League champions.
Premier League champions. So it's a different confidence because normally the roles would be reversed. Arsenal coming second, not winning.
We'd
anything.
have the inferior thing.
Exactly. So I'm just confident, man. I'm just confident, bro. I feel like we're gonna do it.
On, man. Bring on this season, man.
Yeah,
Last question then, man. What's your scoreline for tomorrow? I'm gonna go 2-1 Arsenal. I think Coventry will give a good. Like, it won't be a hiding. I hope I'm wrong.
I won't forget it.
2-1.
I don't. I'll say 2-0. I say 2-0. I think we need to score early. Though. Like we need to, like, you know, when someone gets like that, like Gyökeres gets that chance in front of goal, and he misses. We get it against pre-season, or whoever.
Hopefully, Calafiori takes that chance. To be fair,
just score that chance. You know that one. Oh my days, Coventry, Arsenal's in first 15 or take that chance. That's the one.
Never a bad time to score a goal, man.
Yeah, take that chance. Score early. Coventry's in a world of pain, bro. Big up Booby. That's his sentence. Yeah. So yeah, man. I say 2-0. I'll take a comfortable 2-0, man.
I'll just take the 3 points and then it's Aston Villa away, isn't it?
Keep it ticking.
And then Chelsea.
Let's keep it ticking. And I want a set piece as well to piss them off.
Yeah, no, I want a set piece. I want Konsa's debut to have him scoring from a set piece as well. We got 5-0 tomorrow. I'll take away his dunks on Lampard. I hope so. And it's funny you mentioned Gyökeres, guys. It's a full circle moment for him because Coventry was the first port of call in it to give him his reward. That's where he got the sporting move and ultimately Arsenal in it. So it's kind of written in the stars that them man kind of bagging. He'll probably be up for it provided he starts. Granted, I do think Kai will be the one to start through the middle. If I'm honest with you, I don't know. Do you think Saka will start?
Nah.
Like, I don't. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that means Noni.
I'll go with the exact same team with Charity Shield.
You know, fair play. They did their thing, and there's many a game for people.
Gabriel, Calafiori, Ben White.
Midfield.
Yeah. Bruno Guimaraes, Miles Lewis-Skelly, Odegaard, Noni on the right, Havertz up front, Solid on the left. And then the squad depth that was coming off the bench was mental. Just use that. I
forgot we had bare them players. I'm seeing Saka come out, Gyökeres, Zubi, Rice, this one, that one.
Same
mental.
Exact same squad, same team. That team should be Coventry or score a goal against Coventry. Then you just bring on the Sakas, then you bring on the Ezes, then you bring on this.
Get the blood flowing.
Yeah, bring them on. Bring them on.
Bring it on, man. Bring it on. You're gassing me for the season, man.
Yeah, bro. Of course, bro. We're champions now, bro. We haven't got into a season being champions in 22 years.
Since I was a little boy. Not like this. So I'm on it. So there's an element of us fans like, yeah, man. Bring it on, bro. Bring it on, bro.
Because the reason why we also should be confident, Arsenal fans, just remember that we earned this. We deserve this. I'm not even when I say fans, I'm talking about obviously as a fan base. But the squad and the team earned this right to go in with confidence. This is not coming from a place of ignorance or delusion.
Fact.
This is coming from a place of
no matter how much they try gaslight.
Yeah, how much they want to dare. This is us. We deserve this. Same way City used to go in every season. City's the favourites and they're the champions because they've been the best team. We're the best team. So go in there with the championship mentality that we're gonna go win this. That's it.
Nothing more, nothing less, man.
Nothing more, nothing
Miles,
less.
any last words? Like before I let you get out of here, man. It's been amazing. I'm pumped for the season now, man.
Hey, where's your hat, man? That hat, hat.
I need to find it.
Has been killing me, bro. From the parade, bro. You've done road with those hats, bro. The Raiden hat.
I think I'm your back. I might get more of them, you know.
I know I'm going to see that hat in Carnival. I know I'm going to see that hat in Carnival.
No, 100%. 100%. Her big red one, 100%.
That hat is done real up. You've got different colors. I'm like, yeah, that is funny, bro. But every time I see you with that hat, I bust up. Like, DG's got this bloody hat.
That's just me in demon mode, man.
Yeah, man. Bro, big up everybody in the chat. Big up everybody that's been here. Big up yourself, DG, as well. I'm going to get you on our show.
Yourself, Miles, man. You always make it happen when the bird call flies, man. So yeah, you're always welcome on the platform.
Bro, as much as obviously I like all your streams, sometimes I'll be a silent listener. Sometimes you see a comment.
No, you're here more time.
I always watch your streams, man. I'm a big fan of you. And big up yourself as well, man, because you're doing great stuff with TalkSport and you're great representation of us, bro. No,
fucking seriously. Fighting for the badge time after time after time.
I'm with you, bro. Sometimes on my show from my left when I'm beefing these boys on the club and fighting for the badge, bro. But this is the only thing we can do. So yeah, man, just keep going, bro. And I wish you all the best, man. And obviously, we'll tap in later on in the season, definitely. I'm definitely gonna get you on my
Likewise,
show
man.
as well.
Shout me whenever you need the bird call, man. And again, big up Miles for showing out people and providing the content. Chat, we can't do it without you lot. You lot are the real MVPs. On that note, we're out of here, man. Let's go win the league again. Miles,
Come on,
bless
guys,
my
man.
family.
Love
In a
my boy.
bit.
Peace.
Safe.
Because the joy is